Today in our 2012 Toyota 4Runner, we're going to be doing a test fit on the Yakima Jetstream Crossbar Timberline Tower Roof Rack system. As you can see, I've already got it set up here just to give you a good idea what it looks like. This system is specifically designed to fit your raised rails on your 4Runner. With this, it's going to allow you to carry roof mount accessories, things like bike racks, kayak carriers, cargo boxes, and more. Now you can see how the crossbars here have an aerodynamic design. These are going to be a lot quieter than your traditional round or square bars. They're going to work with your standard clamp-on accessories as well as your T-slot accessories. You simply pop off that end cap and we can actually slide that T-bolt right down through the channel here, right over that rubber strip to our desired location, and it's going to give us a nice clean look. Now the crossbars are 50 inches long. You can see here how they span across the whole roof of our 4Runner. So we're going to be able to carry multiple accessories up there. Perhaps maybe 2 or 3 bike racks or maybe even 2 kayaks. Now they are made out of aluminum. That way we don't need to worry about any rust or corrosion. I've got the black installed, but they're also available in silver. So if that's something you're interested in, see etrailer.com. Now 4 Timberline towers keep our crossbars in place. This is what clamps around our raised rails. They actually use a rubber-coated stainless steel strap that goes underneath. That way it doesn't harm or scratch that finish underneath. Now if we pop off the cover here, you can see that it protects our hardware from the elements. It's also going to help deter theft. Once everything's tightened down, the cover goes on. And if you'd like to upgrade to some metal locking cores, you can pick up those here at etrailer.com for more security. Now this Yakima Roof Rack system has a weight capacity of 165 pounds. You do, however, want to check with your 4Runner's owner's manual to see if the roof can support that much weight. You want to go with whatever number is lowest. Now that we've gone over the features, I'll go ahead and show you how to get them set up. I've already got that front crossbar in place, mounted to my raised rails, as you can see. The rear one installs the same way. Let's go ahead and do it together. I've got it set up on my white table here. You can see I've got one side done. We just need to repeat the same process on the other side. So what we can do is, to make it a little bit easier, we'll go ahead and turn that Jetstream crossbar over. You want to be sure to remove that end cap. I've already gone ahead and done that. Then we want to grab our Timberline tower. Now there's a few things we need to do here before we can slide it in place. We'll need to install our plastic adapter here. It just clips into the top. Listen for the click. We've got that in place. Then we'll need to install the metal T-nut right over the top of that. So we can turn it over. You can see we're still connected here, our strap. So we'll take off the cover here and we'll just disconnect that. Now I'm still holding that T-bolt in place on the other side. We'll push the strap towards us. That's going to allow us to access that Allen bolt down through the hole here and tighten up that T-nut. So we'll grab our included tool and start tightening that down. And we're going to go ahead and tighten this down all the way. And listen for those audible clicks. That's one unique thing about our tool, is it's going to let us know when we're properly torqued down. With everything installed, you'll need to be sure that it is still easily movable here on top. Even though we tightened it completely underneath, if you cannot move it loosely like this, you'll need to loosen up the Allen bolt down into the center here, and that should give you enough play. All of this is going to make it easier to slide it into the channel. So with it loosely installed, let's go ahead and line it up and push it on. Now a lot of times it likes to get bound up here with the rubber weather stripping. If that happens, you can just push down on it and that way we can slide it on. Now we don't need to worry about setting it up on our scale here. We can adjust that bar overhang and everything else up on top of our 4Runner's roof. So from here, let's take our end cap and we're ready to set it in place. Now when we set it in place, we want to be sure that the larger rounded portion of the Jetstream crossbar is facing forward. That's going to be the front. And we can also set this in place anywhere we want. We just want to set it up to where it's going to work best with our accessories. So when I set it up, I want to be sure that that rubber strap goes underneath our raised rails on both sides. And then if we've got enough to spare, I'm going to go ahead and latch it in place just like that. Now if you can't get that strap to hook up into where it's supposed to go, you can then loosen up the Allen bolt here. So you just turn it counterclockwise and that'll give you enough excess strap. Then you can finally connect it to where it's supposed to go here. So now, with it in place, we need to be sure we have the same crossbar spread on each side. So we'll measure center on center, get it to our desired width on both sides. We then need to make sure that that Timberline tower is centered with the top of our raised rail. We've actually got a little indicator mark here. Again, we just need to make sure that that is centered with that top of the rail on each side. But from there, we can then just take our included tool and start tightening up that strap. Once we get it plenty tight, just listen for the audible clicks in our tool, and we'll be all set. We'll start to feel a little bit of resistance. Then we can move on to the other side. Now the next thing we need to do is adjust our bar overhang. That's going to be the distance from the Timberline tower here to the outside of the bar. We need to be sure it's the same on each side. Now you can either use a tape measure for this, or you can eye it up like I'm going to do. I'm not too concerned. I'm going to push it a little bit to the side over there. If it doesn't move, you can always apply a little bit of pressure to the underside of the bar to help straighten it up. And from there, once we've got it set to where we want, then we can finally tighten down that Allen bolt on the inside here. And that's going to lock that Jetstream crossbar in place and prevent it from shifting. With everything in place, all we have to do is put on our covers and we're all set. Once everything's assembled and installed correctly, we can feel free and load up our favorite roof mount accessory and hit the road. But that's going to complete our test fit of the Yakima Jetstream Crossbar Timberline Roof Rack system on our 2012 Toyota 4Runner.